Hi and good morning. Good morning here in the UK. If you're not in the UK, well, I guess in a different time zone. So it's morning or afternoon or evening. I'm just waiting because I believe we're preparing to go live. That's what Zoom is telling me, to go live in the group, in the Facebook group. I just give that a few more minutes and see what's going on there. Hope you're well. As we go through today's webinar, do chat with me, send your questions, use the Q&A button there and ask questions. And also do chat with me and let me know how you are finding this, anything that kind of pricks your interest or you feel is going to be really helpful for you straight away. I'd love to know. I'm just checking in again if we are in the group. Just popping a question to my team. Bear with me. We will be starting and we will definitely be finishing within the hour. Right, we're recording here. Let's just see. Hello, lovely to see you. Well, I can't see you, but thanks for being here. Hi, send me a hi in the group if you're watching live. And if you're watching the recording later, do put something in the comments. I'd like to know if you find this useful, if you find it helpful. I will be checking every comment from time to time everywhere we post this, whether it's in the group, in the Facebook group, or not live yet, or on YouTube or wherever you get to watch this afterwards. Now, this is telling me we're not live yet in the group. I'm just waiting to see what's going on. Bear with me. Thank you. Technology, you can't trust it. I mean, on my screen, it says preparing. It says live preparing. It said that for the last 2-3 minutes, but still it's not gone live yet. So I'm hoping that we go live in a minute or two. Otherwise, I will start in a minute if we don't. Let me stop it and start again. Let's see if that works. Let's try again. Bear with me if you're online. Again, let me know you're watching, that you're here, and tell me what you're looking forward to today. Like I said, do ask me questions. Tell me how you are feeling today. How are you feeling about your business today? And if you're just joining us, bear with me. We're just trying to stream live into my free Facebook group. There are people waiting on that at that end to watch it in the group. So I'm just waiting for a note to tell me that we're live in the group, and then we can get started. Looks like we're getting better results now. I will be starting in a minute. Okay. Not sure if this is going to work. Apologies again if you're waiting at the other end. Drop me a note, let me know how business is doing right now. And we are going live. I got distracted with all the new changes in Facebook. If you use Facebook, you probably have noticed that the whole the interface is changed a bit in the last few weeks, and it's difficult to know where things are now, but I think we are almost there. And I'm just waiting for notice. I think we're live. I think we're live in the group. I think we finally got there. I'm going to come off Facebook. That yes, I just got a note saying we're live. That's fantastic. Right. Hi, Facebook guys. Hello, everybody in the Business Health Club. Thanks for joining live. And for those who are joining straight on here, thanks again for joining live. Right. So today we are going to be talking about you. We're going to be talking about your business and the health of your business. We're going to be talking about how, despite all that's been going on, your business can bounce back and bounce back stronger. Now, before we start, let me just share my screen. Oh, don't you just love technology? Oh, well, first of all, let me share the right thing. So let's see, let's share my screen again. Bear with me, and here we go. Right. Let's do this. Yes. Now, today we are talking about bouncing back and bouncing back stronger. We're talking about you and your business surviving the next few weeks and the next few months. No matter what challenges you're facing right now, my promise is that by the end of this little short masterclass, you'll have great clarity and you'll be ready to move forward with your business in a way that feels comfortable for you right now. Now, before we get started, who am I? Just a little bit about me if we haven't met before. My name is Salami. I'm a business performance coach. But what that means really, in essence, is that I help business owners to streamline their businesses so that they can make more money, and save time and achieve their goals. That's what I do for business owners that work with me. And I'm hoping that through this, I will be able to achieve some of those things that I do with my clients. Now, a little bit more about why I do what I do. Here are some stats that you might be aware of already. You might have seen this. These are stats or statistics of businesses that start every year. And this is one of my key whys. This is one of the reasons why I do what I do. It's the fact that I realize, or I have seen so many studies that show that for every 100 companies that start every year, and there are thousands, tens of thousands of businesses started every year, but for every 100 that start, only 80 are still surviving after the first year, only 70 after the third year. But check this out, after 10 years, only 30 of those businesses still exist. This is under normal circumstances. This is even without the pandemic. This is without any form of recession. This is just normal statistics of business life. This, I think, is not great. And I'm sure you agree with me. It is absolutely shocking. And so one of the things I set out to do in my business is to turn this around. And I feel that now more than ever, what I do, or my passion, if you like, is actually heightened because I know small business owners like you and I need more support than ever. Now, today, my goal is to help you to strengthen your business. My goal is to help equip you to leave this masterclass ready, equipped and ready to take your business forward. I want to share my perspectives on how you can get through the pandemic, and I also want to inspire and challenge you. As I said at the beginning, I hope that you'll be able to take one or two things away that will help you move forward. Now, this is something I saw in the Financial Times in March, and I took a picture of it because I didn't know where we were going then. But isn't it shocking that in the very first month of the pandemic, 21,000 more businesses failed than in the same period last year? I can only imagine what the figures are now. And this is even made more shocking by the fact that a small business is the lifeblood of every economy in any country around the world. In the UK, small businesses like yours and mine make up about 99% of the total number of businesses in the UK. We employ 61% of the people that are in work in the UK. And to think that we are going through such a pressured time, as with everyone else, but how do we survive this? The economy needs us to survive this, but we need this to work as well. We need our businesses to work. So my question to you though is that if you were to review your business in 2020 so far, so we are around about the first week in November, it's been about 8 weeks of the pandemic. What will your review be? If you were to write a little headline of 2020, what would you write about your business? How has it been for you so far? Make a note. Would you have words like it's been out of control, it's been a new start, it's been successful, it's been a success, there's been growth, it's slowed down, you've had more courage this year than ever, you have been in a place of abundance, it felt like wading through mud. I want you to make a note right now of what your headline would be for your business. If you were to write a headline today for your business, make a note right now and let's see what you think about it at the end. Another word that you might have might be change. This year, many of us have been forced into a place of change. We've had to make changes in our businesses, whether we like it or not. You know, there are two types of change. There's a change that you decide on, and there is the change that is forced on you. Have you had to make change this year? Would that be on your headline? Another word that might be on your headline is fair. This has certainly been a word or on the minds, even if not coming out of people's mouths, but a word that's been on people's minds a lot this year, and for good reasons as well. And this is very, very normal. But what matters when we're in a place of fear is what we do with it. And today I want to challenge you to do this. Let it wake you up. And then let it go. Because if you don't let it go, it will keep you in the same place. You will not move. The whole world will keep moving forward and you will be stuck. It will stop you moving forward. So let fear wake you up, embrace it. It is there. You can't, if you pretend like it doesn't exist, then you're not going to move forward. So let it wake you up. You know, admit that you've got it, accept it. It's here. You are in a place of fear. I would say in between the let it wake you up and then letting it go is writing it down. How are you feeling? What emotions are coming up? Then let it go and be determined to take action. I love this quote by Albert Einstein that says, "No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it." So change is definitely necessary. It's necessary for me, it's necessary for you. The shift is needed. But you get to choose what happens next. Action is very, very important, as I've been emphasizing just in the last few minutes. But you get to choose what happens next. What will your choice be? There are 4 options I want to propose to you. And we are going to go through these 4 options one at a time. One of them is your position could be to just pause, do nothing. Oh, by the way, this is my 4P model. I just came up with this a few days ago and I absolutely love it because it encapsulates my advice, my advice to you of options that are available to you. Now, these are the choices you have. You make the choice. These are the 4 P's. The first thing is to pause. The other thing you could do is to choose to panic. The other thing you could choose to do is to preserve. And the last thing you might choose to do is to pivot. I'll go through this 4 now, and then you can make your choice. Now pause. Pause, as it says, or as it means, really is just being in a place of doing nothing. Just out of fear, you do nothing, you freeze. And like I said before, when you are in a place of fear and you do nothing about it, you fail to acknowledge it, you fail to let it go, it stops you moving forward. Nothing happens. There is absolutely no progress. You be like a deer caught in headlights, just until it hits you in the face. So it's a place where you are shocked, you're frightened, and you can take no action. That is an option. Another option is to be in a place of panic. You are not stopping, but you are busy. You are doing many, many, many things. You're in firefighting mode. You sit at your desk, or you get up in the morning, you're making calls, you're just trying to get orders. You are in a desperate place. You're busy doing many things, but really you're not getting any results. And the result of all of this, really, the only result you might be getting is an increased desperation. You start making the wrong decisions. You start getting irrational in your thinking. You start getting tired, and frustration increases. This is what happens in a place of panic. It's not a nice place to be, because you are expending, that's the word, expending so much energy, and you're getting zero result, if any. It's like, well, probably this analogy will not work really greatly on this, but that's what's come to my mind now. You're working really hard, like you're on a treadmill. You want to go somewhere, but you get on a treadmill to get there. You are going really fast. You're expending energy, but you are really not making any forward movement. You're not getting anywhere. The third P is to preserve. Now, this is an interesting place to be, because this is where you're doing the minimum to keep your business going. You're not panicking, you're not pausing, you are just churning along with the confidence that when the recovery comes, and it will come, when it comes, your business will still exist, and it will be there. You'll be there, you'll be positioned to move forward. And so what does this look like? When you're preserving your business, when you're in a position of preserving or preservation, it's things like you're looking at your expenses, you're cutting down the costs in your business. You're maintaining relationships with your clients or your customers. You're calling them, even if they're not buying at this time, but you're keeping those links in. You're talking to your suppliers. You're keeping your hands in the industry. You know what's going on. You're probably even spending the time to look at your business again and look at what might need to change, what you need to do going forward. An interesting example is my son's tennis coach. Of course, during the first lockdown, everything locked down. But I loved what she did. She got in touch with all the parents, I believe, but she got in touch with me, and she asked if she could do 30 minutes, I think twice a week, with my son in our back garden by Zoom, just exercising, just keeping him fit. And then she turned that into weekly competition with other boys in his team, in his tennis group. And then eventually she started charging for it. She started charging a minimum amount for 1 hour, teaching them tennis strokes and everything in the back garden. Now, what this meant was, when the economy opened up in, I believe, around July, when the economy opened up and when the world, opened up and we could go out again, the first thing I thought was, I really want her to continue to coach my son. So I booked my one-to-one lessons with her immediately. We were probably one of the first people back there. She made sure she kept herself in my mind, in our minds, in the minds of the parents. She was back in business as soon as the economy opened up. That's a good place to be. Another thing you can choose to do is to pivot or pivot. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but to pivot. A lot of businesses have been talking about this. This has been all over the place, all over the news, every seminar, every webinar, it's talking about, you need to pivot, you need to pivot. What does it mean? What does it really mean? It means, to recover your business, to do things to recover your business, to save your business if your original business model isn't working anymore. If the way you operate your business doesn't work again in the current circumstances, is to change the way you work, to change the way you deliver your services or your products. It's about adapting for survival. That's what pivoting is. And there are many ways to achieve this. There are, you could go into a new market, you could go into, you could just totally shut down one business and start another business. But the easiest way I have found to do this is to keep your current customer base, your customers that you have right now, your clients that you have right now. They already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. So whatever you bring to them, they're probably more likely to listen to you. You've already invested in that relationship. So the best way to pivot is to find things that can serve your current customer base. Examples of this, we have probably heard a lot of examples that includes things like digital products, especially for coaches, and in many businesses, really, people going online with their products, digital products. But also during the pandemic, the lockdown, the first lockdown in the UK, I've heard of businesses, and two examples actually I'd give, that are not digital, but found ways to pivot the business and survive through the lockdown. One is a hairdresser. She started packaging treatments for her clients. She spoke to her clients, she found they were missing coming to the salon. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to carry on looking after their hair. So she started packaging, doing little packages of treatments, natural treatments, sending it fresh, next day delivery to our clients so that they could get their hair in good shape. And of course, as soon as lockdown was over, they were straight back in a salon, asking her to trim their hair and style it and stuff like that. She kept herself on their minds. Another one I heard about in the north of England was a taxi service company who then immediately started doing food delivery, doing local food shopping, grocery shopping for people, and delivering it, and prescription deliveries as well to people in their homes. So basically doing your shopping for you. So we have pause, which is really effectively doing nothing, or panic, preserve, or pivot. What will your choice be? What will you choose to do right now to bounce back stronger from the position you're in? I believe that this year, success is really being redefined. It's not just about financial, how much money I make, how many new customers I have. It is also very much about non-financial measures. It is about survival. It's about being here, being ready, being positioned so that when the economy turns around, and it sure will, you are able to still continue in business. It might also be for you, at a minimum, it should be that. It might also be for you an opportunity to pivot because your current business model is no longer working or it's not sustainable for the future. So one thing you do not want to do for sure is to wait and see. You know what wait and see is like? It's just like sitting on a rocking chair and just sitting there, just going and just telling yourself, it will come around, it will turn around. When it does, I will pick up. If you wait until then, you will be left behind because everyone else in your industry, everyone else, all the competition, they're not waiting to see. They are proactive, they're keeping in touch. At the very minimum, they are preserving their business for the future. This is another reason why you should keep moving. Statistics have shown that 80% of recovery takes place in the first 18 months of whether it's a recession or pandemic or anything like that stopping. As soon as it stops, within the first 18 months, 80% of recovery happens. Will you be ready for that? will you be positioned and ready for that? Something else I heard in the training I was in recently is successful people run towards fear. I think most of us experience fear to some degree, but it's what happens is what makes the difference rather is what we choose to do with the fear that we experience. Now you can choose to face your fear headlong. Like I said to you earlier, it could be wake up to it and then let it go. I want you to choose that. I am encouraging you, and hopefully you're inspired by today's masterclass to do that, to confront your fears and put yourself at the risk of success. Dare to believe in your business. Dare to believe that this will be successful. But what matters is your mindset. The mindset that helps you to get through this time has to be a mindset that sees that you are in control. You have options. You're not a victim. You're going to get through this. You will have a stronger business at the end of this, and staying still is not an option. Now, I know the guys that are on the Facebook group they can see me, they can see the slides, but they can't chat with me live. But if you do have any comments, put it in Facebook. I will go back to it and I'll read every single comment, and I will respond to your questions or your comments. But let me know what you think about what you heard so far. And for those who are watching live on the webinar, on the Zoom, please also put in your comments. Let me know what you're thinking as I go along. I'd like to know what's on your mind. So back to your mindset, you need to position yourself mentally, and you get to choose. Wait and see approach, which is the do nothing, the pause, do nothing, panic, or the proactive approach. The proactive approach, which option will you choose? If you choose to be proactive, then it's time to get strategic. Strategic means it's time to work on your business. You can't just start going. You've got to prepare to go. It starts with knowing what to do, and that's what we're going to walk through in the next 15-20 minutes together. And that's why you've probably got already, I hope you've got your, sorry, mine is a bit rumpled, it's been everywhere with me, your workbook ready to work on your business with me for the next 20 minutes or so. The difference with being strategic and being on a track for me is like when you are strategic, it's like being, okay, the opposite of being strategic is like being on a treadmill, like I said earlier before. You're busy, you are going along, you are busy, you're expending energy, but you're not getting anywhere. But when you're on a track, you set the goal before you, you get you're on your feet, you're positioned to start, and you go because you set the goal. So today I want us to define what that goal might be for you. Again, what's key is to choose which of those 4 options you really want. Do you want to do nothing, pause, wait and see, panic, or preserve your business and pivot, and preserve and pivot, or preserve or pivot your business at this time? Now, let's go. Let's work on your business for the next 15-20 minutes or so together. You're going to need your workbook if you've got it. If you haven't got it, don't worry. I've got all the questions on here, and you can answer them as you go along or go back and print out the workbook. But I'm hoping that beyond the guide and workbook that you've got, I'll be able to expand on some of these steps with you. So let's start. This is the absolute starting point, and I'm going to be walking through my workbook as well. So if you see me looking down, it's because I've got my workbook and I want to walk along with you on it. Now, your context is the absolute starting point. Your context is the environment, whether it's within your business or external to your business. It's everything that affects the way that your business runs. That is the reality, if you like, of your business. Knowing your context, doing an assessment of your context helps you to identify where you may need to act differently, what might need to change. Remember the word change. You know, change can be it can be put on you, or you might choose to change and embrace change yourself. In this context, I'm talking about what change that you might proactively choose to make. So how might you need to act differently within your business to ensure that you can bounce back and have a stronger business and be ready for the turnaround? It's going beyond your feelings like, oh, I feel like things are not working, or I feel it's going to be tough. I feel business is hard right now. There are no customers. I just feel it's not an emotional thing, what we're talking about here. This is about looking at realities, to be a student of your business. And I mean, there are a few questions on the workbook to guide you through. The first one is about what is going on in your business right now. Now, this is going deep. This is going beyond the surface, and I'll quickly add, the other thing you might want to consider thinking about is what is going on in your industry right now. Now, going back to what's going on in your business right now, your business is very unique. It's not like any other business in some ways. And in some ways, it is like other businesses. And that's why it's important to look at it from both perspectives. What's going on in your business right now? I'll give you an example. Say, for example, say you are a convenience shop. You're a convenience shop. Every month, you normally have sales of £14,000 normally. And this year, you set yourself a target of hitting a target of 16,000 every month. That's fantastic, isn't it? Just only 2%, sorry, not 2%, but £2,000 every month. You feel it's possible. It is possible growth for your business. You haven't overstretched yourself. It's only about 50% or so increase that you're asking for. Now, January, say your turnover was about 14%. You did have the income of 14,000, February 14,000, and then March, you had an income of 19,000, April 19,000, and then you got to June and it was like 16,000, but then July was 16,000, which is great, but by the time you got to August, your figures are going down, and you are seeing figures of 12,000 again and 11,000. And you're sitting wondering what's happening. What is going on in my business? What's going on right now? And I don't know if you've been able to follow my figures, and perhaps I should have put a slide on here to make it a bit more visual for you. Now, as a convenience shop owner, you'd sit down and look at these figures, and you might find that the reason that your figures had gone up between March and July is because most other shops were closed. The lockdown was on. People were trying to get flour. If you're in the UK, that was the thing. We couldn't get flour for baking. We couldn't get baking soda and things that you needed for baking. People were popping into your shops to buy their toiletries and stuff like that. Suddenly, everything opened up. People felt more comfortable going out to other shops, and you're getting less sales. Hence, your figures dropped in August. That's one view. The other view is to also look at your target of 16,000 per month in 2020. What was it based on? How were you going to get that extra £2,000? And what have you done about it so far? It might not be too late to start to work on that. Another thing might be to consider, what were your sales cycle like last year, this time last year and the year before? Is it normal that perhaps in the summer months, because people are going on holidays, normally your figures would dip a bit? So assessing your context helps you to start to see what is really, really going on in your business. What is your reality? So that you're not making knee-jerk reactions, but you are reacting to the actual situation. Another thing to think about, and maybe from your networks, is to talk to other people, other convenience shops or other therapists or whatever industry you're in, other coaches, and ask the question, how are you finding business at the moment? Reading papers, looking at industry news, what is going on in your industry, and being able to respond to, and what you need to do rather to respond to that. That is very important too. So you put this all together to understand your context and perhaps start to draft how you are going to respond. Now, I'm going to totally have to rely on my workbook as well to help me here. Your vision, evaluate your vision. What is your vision for your business? What was it before, and how are you feeling about it now? The thing about vision is that it gives context for your plans, for what you want to do. I spoke earlier about an athlete on a track, about to run. It's not just running aimlessly, but it has a vision of of the end of the track, where it wants to get to. What is your vision for your business? And it's important to assess that from time to time, because sometimes that changes. Rarely, but sometimes it changes. It's good to get in touch with your vision again, assess it. Is it still what you want to achieve? And it might be an opportunity to sharpen it as well and articulate it better, and then put it within the context of where you are right now. That would again start to help you to craft the best way to bounce back in your business. So a couple of questions for you really. What is your, sorry, there's an R meeting there. Well, what is your vision for your business in the long term? And what is your vision for your business in 1 year's time? That's very important so that we know where we're going. Another thing I would encourage you and challenge you to look at is your business model. Now, this is one that we all like to hold on to. It's our baby. We get very emotional sometimes about this is the way we've always done our business and it's always worked. Why won't it work now? And it's perhaps the hardest thing sometimes to change in your business. But the truth is, if it's no longer viable, it might be time to adapt it or to let it go. And this is really the core of pivoting. It's knowing what's working in your business and being able to adapt to survive, to preserve and survive in your business. Sometimes we get overtly attached to our business. There is a psychology of attachment around it. It's almost like, you have, your son is in school or your daughter is in school, and they call you in saying, she's been naughty, she's done something wrong. And you're like, no, my angel wouldn't do that. My angel won't do that. Because you love your child. Your child is precious to you. You hate to believe that they would behave in the way that they're saying. It's the psychology of attachment. It's the same thing with our business model. Sometimes it's so precious to us. We're thinking, no, the problem can't be with that business model. It must be everything else. It must be the pandemic. It must be the customers even, it's just they don't know what they need. I know how they want it, how they should have it. Beware of the psychology of attachment to your business model. You should be willing to assess it and let go of the bits that are not serving you right now in your business. So take time to assess your business model. Do you need to refine? Do you need to refine it in any way? And if you need to refine it, what needs to change? Use the workbook I've given you. Let it guide you, let it help you, let it support you to develop a business model that works, that's effective and works for your business. Bear with me. On my workbook. Again, I am Jendel, I know you're here. Please let me know if there's any notes in the Facebook group so that we can share it on here as well and I can answer questions. Now, another area I'd like you to think about is product innovation. People say, what do you mean? I need to start all over again? No, but it's about looking at your product, again, another precious baby, your product or your service, and looking at it and thinking and assessing again if this is what your clients are looking for or your customers are looking for at this time. Is it still meeting a need? You know, people only care what you can do for them. Really, your clients, your customers would only stick with you if your product remains relevant, if it solves a problem for them and it helps them to move forward. People are looking for solutions to their pains. They want people who can solve their problems for them. So the best thing is speak to them. Speak. I have been speaking to all my clients, past, present, and future, the potential clients in the future, a lot through lockdown. And a lot of conversations have been around what support do they need now? What is going on in their business now? I want to encourage you to do a similar thing. Speak to your clients, speak to your customers. How are they doing? Check in, and whilst you're talking to them, you'll be able to figure out how you might need to adapt your product or your service to meet them where they are right now and solve the problems for them. So the questions I have for you is, are your products and services still meeting your customers' needs? And then if you need to change something, what needs to change? Do you need to sell your same product and service that you have? If it's not serving the current clients that you have or your ideal client or customer at the moment, do you need to go into a new market with what you have if you can't change the product? Or do you need to reposition perhaps the product, perhaps reduce the price and have a high volume strategy, or keep the price high and just know that right now the volume is going to be low. So it's going to be a high price, low volume strategy. What is going to work for your business right now? You've got to be realistic about your own business right now and what the market needs. Or do you just need to scrap everything and pivot, if you like, into a new market, new products into a new market, and start all over again? A lot of people have done that as well. The other thing, and I have started talking about this already, is relationships, is to focus on relationships. That is so important. We spoke earlier about positioning yourself to be ready for the recovery when it starts. That's part of bouncing back. And part of that is keeping those relationships, those conversations going with clients, customers, past, present, future, potential clients and customers. Keeping conversations going on with suppliers, with your competition, with people in the industry, keeping relationships going. Your networks, those ambassadors of your business, ambassadors of your brand, keep those conversations going with them. That's going to be very key to your recovery. Who do you need to connect with now? Who have you not spoken to in a while? Who's been really helpful in your business, supportive of your business? Perhaps a mentor, a coach, perhaps a client, a customer. Like I said, I call my network my ambassadors. Perhaps your business ambassadors. Who do you need to connect with now? You can make notes about that. The other thing, and this is probably the most crucial thing, is to check in with yourself. How are you? How do you feel about making changes? Are you ready to make changes? Are you ready to let go of things that might not be serving you right now in your business? Change is an interesting thing because sometimes we feel, yes, I'm ready for change, but change is a psychological thing. It's something that you have to be ready to embrace in the mind, not just with your words, for it to work. Now, an example is I heard a story of a family that always go to the seaside on the last weekend of August every year, just before the children go back to school. They've done it for the last 7 years. It's fun, it's great. It's become a family tradition. The friends come to join them on a Sunday and they all sit by the sea and they have a barbecue and they have a lovely time together. The sun is always shining, it's always a brilliant time, and they spend the whole year looking forward to this family time and time with friends in the last weekend of August. But last year, not this in 2019, It rained on the Sunday. They were all set for their friends to arrive to spend the day with them in their seaside home, and it rained. So they couldn't have the barbecue outside as they normally do. Everybody was indoors. It just wasn't the normal way it would be. And then it was 2020, August 2020. Everybody was looking forward to being out. We could go out. But how do you think that family was feeling about planning for that Sunday? How in the months and the weeks and the days leading up to the Sunday, how might they have been feeling? Oh, it's going to be another washout, or it's going to be a fantastic, wonderful day. We are going to have fun. Because it didn't work last time does not mean it won't work this year. How do you think they might have been feeling? This is good for us to think about. Are you ready to embrace change and move forward? How do you feel when things change? What is your view? And the R is missing on that again. What is your view on how you can be one step ahead and rebuild your business? These are things to think about. And the last thing I want to challenge you with is to be ready to implement on the things that have kind of come up on your mind as you hopefully did the exercises in the workbook and as I spoke to you on this masterclass. Implementation is the key to success. You can spend all the time sitting, thinking, sitting on the rocking chair, thinking about these things. But if you do nothing, then nothing happens. So what are you going to do next? I can inspire you, I can challenge you to be ready to bounce back and to strengthen your business for the next level. But if you do nothing, then nothing happens. So in the workbook, I have set out a little table for you to decide on your next 3 priorities, your top 3 priorities after doing all the exercises and listening to this masterclass. What are the next 3 things you're going to do and why are you going to do it? This is going to be like your little pointer. Wake up in the morning, have a look at it and take action on 1 or 2 or 3 of those things every day to help you to get to your destination. The year is not over yet. Don't give up. Don't just roll over and just submit to the pandemic and submit to all the economic pressures. Yes, it is tough, but take back control. Get back on the saddle of your business. You've got this. You can do this. You can walk yourself ready to walk. You can prepare yourself, rather, prepare your horse, prepare yourself ready to ride off into a place of abundance. Whether it's now through pivoting, but certainly preserving your business as a minimum to preserve your business for the future. So I really want to encourage you to do that. Now, it is possible for me to support you more. You can get more support from me and my community. You might have heard me throughout this masterclass referring to my Facebook group. It's called the Business Health Club. And I'd like to invite you to join our community. It's a community of brilliant business owners like you who want to increase their profit with zero stress. I am in the group. I am there to support you. And you may ask, why? Why me? Well, this is why. I have many qualifications that will help you. I am an accountant. I'm a management accountant. That means I am a specialist accountant in the management of companies. I am also an operations specialist and strategic development. I help people to develop strategies for their businesses. I have done that in many industries, and I have done that for many businesses. I did that in my corporate world, and in the last 4 years in my business, I have supported tens and tens of businesses like yours to start to grow their businesses and to continue to work on their businesses so that their business survives. My clients get better results every year, year on year. And the reason is that they are able to work on the business side of their business as well as continue to sell and market their business, because all those things need to come together. So will you join us? I mean, the link to join us is here. It's bit.ly/BHC Club FB. So it's really simple. It's bit.ly/BHC Club FB. Join us. Come join the community. Some of us are listening on here from within the community, but if you're not in it, come and join us. Otherwise, yeah, feel free to reach out to me. My email address, I don't think it's on the slide, but just put a comment below this video and I will certainly respond to it. Now, I'll just check if we have any questions. Ginger, can you let me know if we have any questions from the group before we finish? I hope you have found this really useful. I hope it has helped to prepare you to move forward with your business. We can do this. You can do this. And please reach out for me for more support. Join my community is the best place to be. We have more masterclasses like this, and we certainly talk every day. You know, just pop your question in there. Don't stay stuck. Let's move forward together. I think we have no questions, which is fantastic. Take care. Bye.